In the first place, concerning myself, my real name is Thady Kirk, although in the family I have always been known as Honest Thady. Then, in the time of Sir Murtagh, deceased, I remember to hear them calling me Owl Thady, and now I have come to Poor Thady, for I wear a long greatcoat, winter and summer. Hey! So look at me now, you would hardly think that Poor Thady was the father of Attorney Kirk. No, he's a high gentleman. He doesn't mind what poor Thady says. But having better than 1,500 a year landed estate, he looks down upon honest Thady. Now, but I wash my hands of his doings. As I have lived, so shall I die, true and loyal to the family. The Rackrents is, I'm proud to say, one of the most ancient in the kingdom. Now everybody knows that this is not the real family name, which was O'Shaughlin, related to the kings of Ireland. Now, but that was before my time. My grandfather was driver to the great Sir Patrick O'Shaughlin, and I remember him telling me when I was a boy how the Rackrent estate came straight into the family. On one condition. Sir Patrick O'Shaughlin took sadly to heart at the time, but thought better on it afterwards, seeing what a high stake depended on it, that he should, by Act of Parliament, take and bear the name and arms of Rackrent.
Now here comes I, the great Sir Patrick, first of the line, and don't mind that trick, old tally-ho. That sodden divil played with the name. We were the kings of Ireland in former times, proud O'Shaughlin's. My true love's the bottle, the hound and the horse. They're harmless pastimes. You could do a lot worse. Oh, but you find me too lax. You prefer a stuffed shirt, Here comes your man now. I give you Sir Murtagh.
And here comes I, the eager Sir Murtagh. No need for you now to go digging up dirt, be casting aspersions on my kith and kin. The faintest of taints gets right under my skin. For me, disputation's a kind of a tonic. The law's my obsession. My condition is chronic. But if pleasure is your forte, and that's how it sits, I bid you good day, and make way for Sir Kit.
As you guessed, I'm Sir Kit. I will be with you directly. I assume that by now you have guessed quite correctly that my brother and I are scarcely two of a kind. I am a gentleman of leisure, of a different cast of mind. Life is strange, is it not? And yet there are certain constants in this great family's life. I'm not the only one with a troublesome wife. In my own case, I dealt with the problem rather well. Do I hear you demur? Then go you to hell. But should you turn churlish or are quite resolved to stay, make way for Sir Condy. He'll carry the day.
Here comes I, the bold Sir Condy, the white-headed boy with no shoes, sailing Sunday. Brought up in the village, in relative poverty. By the look of the Lord, I got me relatives' property. from Kit and the Jewish. No issue. I'm frank and well-mannered. My name's Ian Free. And if it's a bad word you'll hear spoken of me, whether gaming, or whoring, or drinking your health, my ease of demeanour is my principal wealth. And here we now gather as ghosts of a kind, long since out of sight, but not out of mind. We are lords of this land, 'tis no word of a lie. If you're true to the Rackrents, you live till you die. You've heard of the great and the famous of old, of the lords and the ladies and warriors bold. The deeds are recorded in saga and song. It seems up in the lip, places where they belong. Down to earth, to the land of your birth, where the noblest can know the meaning of birth. Pass your eye all around, and I bet you a pound there's none like the Rackrents there to be found. For a Rackrent is brave and a Rackrent is free. He's as hardy as me, and I'm sure you'll agree. For with humour and bounty, there's none in the county where to compare.
Would they dare?
Be the Lord Duke or Mayor.
It would still be unfair.
For a Rackrent, you'll always take care.
True for them, for no Rackrent was ever a man to be trifled with. Good nature and spirit was mingled in each of them in a strange and particular combination, so that no man knew from one end of the year to the next which way the wind blew with any of them.
And the famous of old, of the lords and the ladies and warriors bold. Their deeds are recorded in saga and song. It seems up in a limp, this is where they belong.
This is where they belong.
For a Rackrent is brave and a Rackrent is free. He's as hardy as me, and I'm sure you'll agree. For with humour and bounty, there's none in the county. For a Rackrent's a Rackrent, you'll all best take care.
Sir Patrick, the great Sir Patrick. Oh, the whole country rang with his praises. A portly gentleman, his neck something short, and remarkable for the largest pimple on his nose. He is also said to be the inventor of raspberry whiskey, for which he had a great appreciation, declaring it readily to be the nectar of the gods. Entertainment in the winter night. McGlitter & Company gathers here to save your delights of gaming, punch, ooh, the willing wench, and dancing late. No gentleman of quality should hesitate to make his way here. A welcome wide as a great front door awaits my guests. Music of violin, heart leaps in the breath, and couples
trip, the lights fantastic like. Music frenzied, and the dancing slightly, too long lasting to be bothered with back. Oh, but there's always a shakedown of the chicken shed that sleeps your desire. It's up to the morn by a thunderous fire, and live until you're dead.
Sir Patrick. Ah, long life to him. He was revered all over the country, for he kept his house from one year's end to the next as full of company as ever it could hold, and fuller. And as for drink, oh, not a man could stand up after supper but Sir Patrick himself.
He that goes to bed and goes to bed sober. Falls as the leaves may do, falls as the leaves may do, dies in October. But he that goes to bed and goes to bed mellow, lives as he ought to do, lives as he ought to do, and dies an honest fellow.
Sir Patrick died that night. Just as the company rose to toast his health with 3 cheers, he fell down in a sort of a fit and was carried off. Oh, they sat it out and were surprised on inquiring the next morning to hear that it was all over for poor Sir Patrick. Oh, his funeral was the like never seen before or since in the county. Far and near, how they flocked. My grandfather was telling me that to see all the ladies, even in their red cloaks, would have taken them for an army drawn out. And then, such a fine whillaloo! Oh, you might have heard it in the far end of the county. And happy the man who could catch sight of the hearse. But who would have thought? Just as all was going along well, through his own town they were passing, when the body was seized for death.
How now, Sir Patrick, my fine honest fellow? So be grand if your ending could really be quite mellow. You're dressed for the grave, we can see you're all set. But don't leave us just yet till you pay off your debt.
Oh, get you behind him, you insolent chap. Or I'll hit you some blows, plus some kicks and some slaps. Can't you see that he's dead? Don't go digging up dirt, you'll rue the day that you crossed me, Sir Murta.
The law, the law, the law, the law, the law!
The law!
The rescue was apprehended from the mob, but the heir who attended the funeral was against that for fear of consequences. Now the law must take its course. Little gain had the creditors for their pains. First and foremost, they had the voice of the country against them.
What's a man to do? I mean, a man of honour surely cannot entertain the cowardly expedient of actually paying up, it being incumbent upon me to safeguard the name, its fame, and its countrywide high repute. No man should doubt that a Rackrent meant to pay tomorrow, or most probably today, all debts accrued. But now the situation has altered somewhat. It's no longer honour, but a pulse of filthy lucre they dispute for, calling upon the law to enforce my father's debt of honour, seizing upon his corpse, which had not gone to its site of rightful repose, is such a vile and base act that I suppose it wrong to entertain their suit for more than just one moment. Let him rot, let him hang, and tell him, if you meet him, that for their cheap and avaricious legal tricks, Sir Murta, now the Rackrent, doesn't give one single solitary whisper of a damn.
Damn! Damn! Damn!
Well, there was an end to debts of honour, to be sure. It was whispered that this was all a sham seizure to obliterate the debt which he had bound to pay himself in honour.
Damn! 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 Dams!
Oh, it's a long time ago now, and there's no telling how it was. But this much for certain. The new man was nothing like the old master. Oh, the cellars were never full. There was no open house, and nothing like it used to be. All the tenants went away without their whisky. Sure, I was ashamed myself, and I knew not what to say for the honour of the family. But I made the best of a bad lot. And I laid all the blame at the feet of my lady. She was from the family of the Skinflints.
Samantha! Get in here now! Samantha!
Where are you, wife? Ah, there you are.
Samantha, take that, and that, and that!
Ow. Let's not argue, dear.
Oh,
That's the way to do it.
Samantha, have you heard the news?
What news is that, dear?
You know, nothing is more important to me than self-denial.
Oh, that's not the way to do it.
Oh, Lent is a season of great holiness, a time I've always held most dear, my dear, for it is a celebration of fasting, restraint, and admirable self-mortification.
And what of Christmas, Easter, and the saints' days?
Oh, nothing but excuses for drink and debauchery.
Oh, be assured, there's Scotch blood coursing through those veins.
And now, this very day, the last day of this blessed season, what do I hear?
It's been extended?
Oh, no, sir. It has come to my attention that Eileen, that indolent wretch with the slack jaw and the broken teeth, was this day discovered wolfing roast beef in the pantry.
What? That was cooked specially for me own lunch. Bring her here.
You brazen bitch! What have you to say?
Oh, please, ma'am, saving your presence, Sir Martha. I was starved alive by the power of the hunger that was in me this day. And me, without taste of fish or flesh, this 6 weeks back, and the gruel gone, and it had best no more than the suspicion of a meal, ma'am. I came over all faint, not once, not twice, but 3 times, ma'am, and had to be revived by the consideration of the other servants.
And what power, may I ask, does roast beef have as an elixir? Perhaps I should discard my smelling salts and carry instead a piece of brisket in my pocketbook.
God bless us, no, ma'am. 'Twas the way they were afeard the life was draining away out of me altogether, the way water may leak out of a cracked jug, ma'am. And they thought best to nourish me with a morsel of cow flesh that was full of goodness.
That's not the way to do it.
Oh, it was a strange match for Sir Martha, and the whole country thought he greatly demeaned himself. But I knew how it was. You see, Sir Martha was a great lawyer, and he looked to the great Skinflint estate. But there, I'm afraid, he overshot himself, for though she was one of the co-heiresses, he was never the better of her, for she outlived him by many's the long year. Now, he didn't see that for certain when he married her.
Eileen Peter Donal, your daughter Nora has been absent from school this fortnight past. Yards of spinning sit still undone.
Oh, if it pleases your ladyship.
Oh, and where pray are my 15 tuckets promised a month since? Well, ma'am?
That the harvest is lame this year, my ladyship. And like, it's cruel to fatten humans to mind fowl.
Oh, no good. Next! Widow Lanigan, what's wrong with doing your duty, pray?
If her ladyship would just listen.
Oh, I cannot eat your constant complaints.
Your ladyship's displeasure was ever my own grief.
Oh, stuff and nonsense. What soured you? You're hardly fit for human consumption.
My harvest is ruined, ma'am. I cannot pay. Dry weather last week would have saved the day, but some Martha summoned me only son just as he was going into the fields, demanded duty work of him and me.
Oh, it's in the contract. In the contract. Don't try to slide about it.
Rain sets, flat corn and station in the sudden matter.
Oh, no good. Next. But what is this? Surely, MacVickerbuck, you promised nothing but phantoms from your fat acres. Crops by name only. Rumours of produce. But nothing solid coming this way. Nothing since June but pleasures and sweet talk. Well, man?
Driving and pounding. Pounding and driving. Rents, double rents, fines and penalties. 2 cattle seized for straying under the mainland. We won't stand for it.
Oh, stuff your impertinence and I'll have you strung up for slaughter.
The land is bleeding! The land is bleeding!
I expect a never-ending supply. Anything else is straw in the wind, boys. Straw in the wind.
My lady was very charitable in her own way. She had a charity school for the poor children, where they were taught to read and write gratis, but where they were kept spinning from a lady gratis in return. Her table kept the same way, for next to nothing. Duty geese, duty fowl, duty turkeys came as fast as we could eat them, for the tenants never thought of coming near Castle Rackrent without a present in some form or other. She got everything for a song, you might say, and mighty proud she was of her own prudence.
Oh, Samantha! If you want to get rich, I'll tell you what's what and what's more, which is which.
Did you ever shag off, you bothersome bitch? Put your arse in the fire and your head in a ditch.
As for Sir Murtagh, he was always driving and pounding and pounding. And you would think no pair was ever better suited, for they were both of the same opinion in the vital matter of hard cash. But I don't know how it was, for there was always a great deal of sparring and jarring between the two of them. That was nothing, of course, compared to the sparring and jarring that he was accustomed to in the courts of law.
The law, as you might say, is my first love. And though she's no swallow, no turtle dove, I think it's true that she's plump and fair and good for a man as country air, best beef, choice fruits, ample wine. The pleasure she gives is near divine. I can't describe the joy of the monthly assizes when, surrounded by my friends and legal advisers, I plunge once more into the litigatory fray, and with subtle oratory and calm conviction, I carry the day. Yes, anything you name is good matter for a suit. You name it, you claim it in learned dispute. Entertainment and gain are mingled here. A diversity of argument at all times of the year is in full flow, and the best yet, you know, is that I've a suit for each letter of the alphabet. And so...
He said, she said. Dabba dabba dabba, nip pick, blah 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 blah, hocus pocus.
Here's to the law, and power to your jaw.
'Tis the grandest performance that ever ye saw.
Judges, juries, attorneys, and furies,
And witty asides, just like this. Ha ha ha.
Take 32 and 45, modify the dividend, amend the annuity, fix the perpetuity. Does your fee, my fee, liquidate, agree, and nullify the rest with epoxy technicalities.
The law! The law! The law! The law! The law!
Charges are bogus full of obfuscation, a bona fide alibi, spurious detention, public is claimed to defend and protect them.
Habeas corpus.
Scrotum, rectum.
Here's to the law!
the law, to your jaw.
'Tis the grandest performance that ever ye saw. My lord, if it may be so bold,
Some power to your jaw.
I would like to draw your honour's attention
To the law.
Would you care to repeat that, sir?
Your
that is a marked contrast to your original testimony, sir. Could it be that you are lying, pray?
Judges and jury.
But this is preposterous, the preposterous tissue of lies, man.
Attorneys and fury.
Surely you must know the truth will out, even out of an untruthful mouth.
To the law.
And witty asides.
And witty sides, just like this. Ha ha ha. The law, 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 the law.
Is it? Where is it? Have you seen her? Again? Oh, was there a drunkard? Hey, you! Come you home, man alive. I'll test your mettle. Hey, you!
Vexing and costly to boot. Nothing compares to a well-conducted suit.
Oh, sweet Jesus, but you make me hot, man. Call him. Cut to him now, dog.
He's coming. He's coming.
Sparring and jarring. Sparring and jarring. With this pair too, anything was good matter for a suit. In one such contest, my lady would have the last word. That was the sad day, for Sir Murtagh grew hopping mad. I was within earshot of the doorway, and now I wish I had made so bold as to step in. He spoke so loud, the whole kitchen was out on the stairs. And then, all of a sudden, he stopped. Oh, something must surely have happened, thought I. And so it was. For in his passion, Sir Murtagh had broken a blood vessel. And all the law in the land was no good in that case. You dug up a fairy mound against my advice, and you had no luck after. My lady sent for 5 physicians. She had a fine jointure settled upon her, and she took herself off to the great joy of the tenantry.
Oh, it's a fine morning, honest Teddy. Goodbye, tea.
And into the carriage she stepped, without a word, good or bad. Or even half a crown. Now, Sir Murtagh, I forgot to notice, had no children. So, the Rackrent estate went to his younger brother, a dashing young officer. Sir Kit Rackrent was the new master.
Bottle of brandy? Hot, quick! Lots of port and fine down quilts for snoring under. Let's come now, boys, don't delay. There'll be a food for all my men. Let's be having it. Hi, go! What a chair to sit upon in this damned house.
Now the house was quite bare from my Lady Skinflint's attention, and the new master, from the moment he set foot in it, thought all his comforts and contrivances must come of themselves, I believe.
Not bolder to lay my ass upon. Bloody hell!
He looked after nothing himself, but he called for everything hair and scale,
Bang!
as if we were conjurers or he in a public house.
Bang! Bang! Shouldn't really... Bang! Shouldn't really shoot the females out of season. Is that old Tady?
Good morrow, Your Honour. I am ever your humble servant.
'Tis younger you're getting, man. Begod, you have the secret of youth, certainly. And you serving at table when Murtagh was a boy. Here's a guinea. Don't eat it.
Money to Sir Kit was like nothing but dirt. Oh, and a fine time we would have had of it, if he had only stayed amongst us.
Yes, tally-ho, and let's run life to earth.
But instead, he grew tired of the place and took himself off to Bath, leaving all in in the hands of the agent.
Money must be all paid up to the day.
But sir!
Up to the day.
Sir Kit.
No objections.
I hope I don't offend you, my dear.
And our improvements.
I cannot consider those who have built upon their farms.
We are not animals. We know the land.
I flatter myself.
The lease is up. The place is the property of the highest bidder.
I flatter myself.
Now, the agent was one of your middlemen who grind the face of the poor and cannot bear a man with a hat on his head. All the old tenants were turned out, and the land was set at the highest penny to a parcel of poor wretches who meant to run off, and did so after taking 2 crops out of the ground.
'Tis wrong, sir. 'Tis unnatural. You might as well strike us down dead as drive us from our home.
Enough of this. Stop haunting another man's acres.
You can't do that. It's not fair.
And why all this ruckus post facto? The horse is bolted. There is no stable, let alone the stable door. In any case, you're fighting and quarrelling over forgotten acres and bits of bog. You have no claim here. I repeat, no claim.
But these were our father's fields. They picked the stones to make these walls.
Look at you, huh? Just look at you. Seamus with the long brogue and Donna with the short and Timmy with no brogue at all. And as for you, widow hussy, screeching about a field of solid rock as if it was the home farm. A whole lot of you's like a bag of cats that a man might drown in the bog, huh?
Or an agent with no manners, and he may go the same way.
Dark words and threats won't serve you well here, you hussy. You may seek employment elsewhere. But aren't you free and easy that your lord and master lies under the sod? You may put your charms to more profitable work elsewhere.
No, you can't say that. No.
Not a week went by without a call for money. Drafts upon drafts from Sir Kit.
They will say to me, how is it, Sir Kit, how is it that you can drink and dine till dawn and yet step out fresh on the mall at 10 of the morn? A regular dandy, as one described me. How, I reply, how?
I laid it all at the foot of the agent. For says I to myself, now what can Sir Kit do with so much cash, and he a single man?
Youth, good health, good fortune, and the devil.
You wonder why the money runs faster than the Shannon itself. You think maybe there's a tributary to my door? Not so, man. The long and short of it is that your lord and master is much too fond of the play. I hear he practically sleeps on the gaming table.
At last, at Christmas, the agent wrote over to stop the drafts.
I can raise no more money through bond or mortgage, nor tenant or otherwise, and I'd like to declare the declined agency for the future, and to wish you, Sir Kit, your health, happiness, and the compliments of the season.
And the compliments of the bloody season to you too, sir.
And here comes I'm Jason Quirk.
I will fight you with pleasure tomorrow or any other day for sending me such a letter. If you were born a gentleman, which I'm sorry for both our sakes to find too late that you are not.
Now with this letter came a new turn in our affairs. The agent was turned out, and my son, Jason, who had corresponded privately with his honour on business, was forthwith desired to take over the running of the accounts and to look them over until further orders.
Yes, and here comes I'm Jason Quirk, the son of a servant born to work.
Jason, my son.
The pen, they say, weighs less than the shovel. I'll die in a palace, though born in a hovel.
Oh, he was ever a cute lad, and a scholar from birth.
I'm clean-limbed and clever, aflame with ambition.
No time at all, you'll improve your condition. I thought to make him a priest, but he did better for himself.
As a clerk, I excel. That's the cause of my rise.
Use your friends, use your brain. Shut your mouth, not your eyes. Now, in no time at all, Jason took over the running of the accounts. And from that day forward, he was the coming man.
The pen, they say, weighs less than the shovel. I'll die in a palace, though born in a hovel. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-noot-night-na. Diddly-oot-night-noot-night-noot-night-na.
Yeah, things were improving surely. And Sir Kit soon condescended to let us know in secret that all would soon be speedily settled to his satisfaction, and that we should all turn over a new leaf.
He's going to be married in a fortnight to the grandest heiress in England, and has only immediate occasion at present for £200 to fund his trip home to Castle Rackrent, where he intends to be, Wyndham weather permitting, early next month.
Well, me heart warmed for me lady when I heard this. I was almost afraid it was too good news to be true. But the girls fell to scouring, and it was as well they did, for we soon learnt of his marriage in the paper to a lady, but I don't know how many thousands of pounds in her fortune.
Sir Kit and the bride are in Dublin, and on the way home to Castle Rackrent.
We had bonfires all over the country.
Stand back! Stand back! Make way for Sir Kit! Come on!
You are very welcome to Castle Rackrent, my lady. Did your honour see all the bonfires? There would have been 50 times more, only Jason and I forbid it, for fear of the horses.
This way, your ladyship. Stand aside, I said. Come on.
Oh, Sir Kit looked to me no more than nothing at all. Indeed, I took him to be the skeleton of his honour. Well,
The short and long of it is I can't tell what to make of it.
well then, leave her to herself. We went straight down to the servants' hall to find out something for certain about her.
A heathen, you say?
Now, Sir Kit's old man was tired, but Jason soon set him to talking, and we had it all out before I closed my eyes that night. She might well have a great fortune, for she was a Jewish, who were famous for their riches. Well,
She is of that Semite tribe or nation that speak a strange kind of English of their own. She cannot abide pork or sausages, and she goes neither to church or mass.
oh Lord, have mercy on his honour's poor soul, thought I. What will become of him and his, and all of us, with this heretic blackamoor at the head of the Castle Rackrent estate?
Oh, Thady, how do you do?
Oh, very well, your honour, ever your humble servant.
Is the large room damp, Thady?
Damp, your honour? Oh no, how could it be any way but as dry as a bone, and all the fires we've had lit in it day and night? No, it must be the barrack room your honour's speaking of.
And what is a barrack room, pray, my dear?
No matter, my dear.
And what is that, Sir Kit? That looks like a pile of black bricks, pray, Sir Kit.
My turf stack, my dear.
Where has my lady been all her life that she doesn't know a turf stack when she sees it?
And what is that black swamp out yonder, Sir Kit?
My bog, my dear.
It's a very ugly prospect, my dear.
You do not see it, my dear, for we have planted it out when the trees grow up in the summertime.
Where are the trees, my dear?
You are blind, my dear. What are these under your eyes?
These shrubs.
Trees.
Maybe they are what you call trees in Ireland, my dear, but they're not a yard high, are they?
They were planted out last year, my lady, and they're very well grown for their age. And you will not see the bog of Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin at all, through the screen, once the leaves come out.
The bog of
Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin, my lady.
what is it again, man?
O'Shaughlin. Carrick-O'Shaughlin. Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin.
That is preposterous. Allibally.
And I wouldn't quarrel with any part nor parcel of the bog of Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin, my lady, because you don't know how long that bog, how many centuries it has been in the family, and we wouldn't part with the bog of Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin on no account at all.
Sir Kit, honestly, it sounds like jibber-jabber. Say it again, man.
Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin, my lady.
And again.
Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin.
Encore.
Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin.
Encore.
Allibally-Carrick-O'Shaughlin.
Oh dear, it's like the braying of an ass, Sir Kit.
I verily believed she laid the cornerstone of all her future misfortunes at that very instant.
Oh God, how could I have come to such a place? Pig meat! Pig meat! You will not stain my table with that filth. No, man, no!
Marvellous bloody beast! Nothing but nourishment from head to trotters. Send for sausages.
No question of that. There'll be no flesh unclean at my table. And know you this, my fate forbids the swine at board.
As your ladyship commands.
Hi, where's my puddings?
Forbidden fare, sir.
What? No blood sausage?
Do not speak of it. It is taboo.
Taboo indeed. I will not have it. I will not have it. See?
Sir Kit.
Who is the master of this house?
That's you, sir.
The women rule the table duly. I will not allow it. I will not allow it. See? She is young and foreign foolish.
I say damn your bacon. Ham is out.
You will not instruct my palate yet, my dear. Bring on the crackling. Let me lick pork chop.
I repeat, it is evil, sir.
Well then get you gone, for it is the pig that I desire. Come, welcome all. My lady's ill, but let the ball begin. Let me fill your glass with dancing punch, and every kind of meat you will discover strews your plate. We have been quiet for too long. Let there be music, revelry, and song. I'll feed you well, and you can duly go to hell.
And from that day forward, sausages, or bacon, or pig meat in some form or other went up to the table. Whereupon, my lady locked herself up in her room, and my master said she could stay there with an oath. And to be sure of her, he turned the key in the lock and he put it in his pocket. And we none of us either saw or heard or speak for 7 years after that. He carried her dinner himself.
Well, have you thought upon what I said?
I think of many things.
You are the author of your own misfortunes.
I want for nothing.
Those diamonds are but baubles to you. To me, they are the salvation of this house.
That is a pity indeed for the both of us.
You cannot live like this. You cannot die. And I cannot deny that it grieves me sore to see you thus.
I beg you, leave me now.
Jessica.
Please go!
You must believe me when I tell you that that we can live here and be happy, wife. You cannot die each day here.
Go, get thee to hell.
Give me the cross. Give me the diamond cross. Release us both now. The cross about your very neck. Please, my pretty Jessica, don't deny me.
Pig, get you gone. My loathing is complete.
I will eat the flesh unclean until death.
Oh, it was pitiful for them both. It was all my Lady Rackrent's fault for being so obstinate about the cross.
Come, my friends, raise your glasses. I toast to Lady Rackrent.
Lady Rackrent!
She's somewhat indisposed, but pray inquire, my fine fellow, if there's something from table she desires. List the victuals to her now.
Our diamond cross, worth I don't know how many thousands of English pounds. That was the cause of all her trouble, and all her suffering could have been put to an end if she had just been willing to part with it.
They ask me, you know, they ask me.
Sir Kit!
Yes, they ask me. How is it, Sir Kit, that you can drink and dice till dawn, as if the devil himself was in me?
You are quite a card, certainly, Sir Kit.
How is it that, as they say, a night of pleasure ne'er leads me astray?
The old dog!
No matter how late or early the revels conclude, I am on horse by 8.
With the fox back by 9.
They inquire, these friends of mine, whene'er can I sleep? This seems not the time.
You defy the very daylight, sir.
I reply with thanks for their concern.
You have many friends, as is right, sir.
I put it all down to youth, good health, good fortune, and the famed master of revels.
Who may that be, sir?
Why, the devil himself, gents.
The damned old master himself.
I flatter myself.
An honest nobleman.
I flatter myself.
A nobleman from birth.
I defy the daylight.
Now the country talked and wondered about my lady being shut up. But they knew not to ask any impertinent questions, for they knew that my master was a man apt to give a very short answer himself.
Youth, good health, good fortune, and the devil himself.
He was a famous shot. He had killed his man before he came of age, and no one dared look at him whilst at that. Sir Kit,
God, protect me. God, deliver me from this place where they'll surely annihilate me.
Sir Kit was a great favourite with the ladies, especially when in the 5th year of her confinement my lady fell ill and took to her bed entirely. And then he put it out that she was now but skin and bone and could not last the winter.
My pretty Jessica, yes.
I could not but feel sorry for her. And when she fell into some sort of a fit, and it was given out by mistake that she had died, this brought things to a sorry crisis for my master.
My sister Ethel, you promised to make a wife.
My sister Emily, you promised your life.
I'm sorry, my friend, we're going to scotch those claims. He proposed to my sister. I'm her brother James. What kind of tomfoolery and carry on? A bigger twister I've never come upon. He's trifling with the female affections. Of broken hearts he's got several selections. But we'll tame him, we'll shame him. With the weapon of his choice, we'll bloody well kill him, or maim him.
Oh, shut up with your bloody willaloo. I'm a fit opponent for you, and for you, and as for you, I'll knock your block off. You will not insult the stock of ancient Rackrent. Oh, shut and call us with what you will. Make your peace with God. For you I'm going to kill.
I won't mention names, but Sir Kit, in his defence, said he would face any man who dared question his conduct. And as for the ladies, well, they must sort it out between themselves, who was to be his second, or his third, or his fourth, while his first was still alive, much to his mortification and theirs.
Bang!
Cheerio.
Upon this, as upon all occasions, Sir Kit had the voice of the country behind him, with the spirit and propriety with which he acted.
I see you've got a wooden leg. You're stuck in the mud. You needn't pray for your salvation. You're the luckiest man in all creation. Bang!
He met and shot the First Lady's brother. The next day he called out the second, who had a wooden leg, and their place of meeting by appointment being a newly ploughed field, of course the wooden leg man got stuck fast. Now Sir Kit, acting with great candour, fired his pistol over his head, at which point the seconds interposed, they cordially shook hands, and they went home to dinner together.
Oi! Bang!
I never saw him in such fine form as that morning he went out. And sure enough, he was within an aim's ace of being quit handsomely of all his enemies. But unluckily, after shooting the toothpick from between his opponent's finger and thumb, he received a ball in a vital part, and was carried home in little less than an hour, speechless, on a handbarrow to my lady. The key. Quick, run to her room.
Madam, my master is dead.
What is that you say?
Sir Kit, my lady. Slain just now by the man he called out.
Oh, sly to catch me off, my God.
He received a ball in a vital part.
I do not doubt it, deceiver.
In the temple, madam, instant death.
You may tell him I will not part from this cross, no matter what ruses he wishes to try upon my understanding.
I cannot tell him anything, my lady, nor can any man.
He's a painted devil who will never let me rest.
Come, my lady.
Please go, I command it.
My lady, you must view the body. It is the law.
No, I will not leave this room.
Then come you to the window.
Oh, thanks be to the great Yahweh and all his mercy. I'm finally delivered.
Jason showed my lady the men carrying Sir Kit up the avenue on the handbarrow, which immediately had the desired effect. My master was greatly lamented. There was no life in him when we lifted him off the barrow, so he was laid out immediately and waked that same night.
No, never, 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 never. Yeah. Like the kid, for boredom and eager, for passion and spit. He rode in the morning, he rode in the night, and all the fine ladies he spread his delight. All the ladies, 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 all the ladies. Yeah.
The whole country was in uproar about it, and not a soul but cried shame upon his murderer, who would have been hanged for sure if he could have been brought to trial. But he very prudently withdrew himself to the continent before the whole affair could be made public.
He shot from the saddle, he shot from the hip. No prey could outrun him or give him the slip. Tally-ho was his cry, forward balla he shout. Bugaballa, bugaballa, bugaballa. Of his noble intentions he left none in doubt.
As for my lady, no sooner was it known for certain that he was dead, than all the gentlemen within 20 miles came in a body, so to speak, to set her at liberty and protest against her confinement, which they now understood for the first time to be against her own consent.
till came that fine day he met death on the road, who cut him down as his red blood it flowed. A martyr to passion, a hero no doubt. Wasn't long till Kit's hot blood ever ran cold.
Pray God, the weather holds fair, and the west winds carries me safely home.
She gave no avails to the servants at Castle Rackrent in her parting, notwithstanding the old proverb, as rich as a Jew. From first to last, she brought nothing but misfortune upon us, and she failed entirely in her duty to my master, lying dead on her account.
The weather holds fair,
But we will not bestow another thought upon her.
and the west winds carries me safely home.
'Tis an ill wind that blows nobody no good.
No, never, 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 no, never there was a felt great as a kid, nor sport and enjoyment for furnish and fit. He rode in the morning, he rode in the night, and all the fine ladies were filled with delight. All the ladies, 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 all the ladies. Yeah.
Judy, truly, truly, Judy, Judy, truly, I love you.
For what can a woman who lives from the clay hope to gain from the wind, from the heat of the day? But to take him down right, easy and slow, 'tis like that the flower of your fortune will grow.
Judy, truly, truly, Judy, Judy, truly, I love you.
Sir Connolly, commonly called amongst his friends for short, Sir Condy Rackrent. He was ever my favourite, and the most universally beloved man I have ever seen or heard of.
Well, aren't you the fine gentleman all of a sudden, Condy?
I'm the same gentleman as ever I was, Judy. And that same gentleman is as fond of you now as he was all the years we were growing up side by side together.
Sir Condley Rackrent, Sir Condley Rackrent, Sir Condley Rackrent,
Give over your old palaver, Judy, now, and step over here till we...
Lord, save us, Condy. What kind of a girl do you take me for?
Lively, Judy. Say you were lively. Sure, isn't that the main cause of my loving you?
From a remote branch of the family, he was born into little or no fortune of his own. He was raised in the village, and few there at the time could foresee the great fate that awaited him. Bred to the bar, he only went the circuit but twice, and then made no figure for want of a fee, and being unable to speak in public.
I'm frank and well-mannered, I'm easy and free.
As for me, I was always my white-headed boy. Many's the time I would tell him stories about the family and about the blood from which he was sprung, and how he could look forward, if the then man died without children, to being the master of Castle Rackrent.
From Kit and the Jewish, no issue.
Now, that was then spoken to please the child, but it pleased heaven to accomplish my prophecy, which gave him a great opinion of my judgment in business. As for romance, we needed little counsel in that regard.
Oh, now you're all fine words and gentle feelings here with the punch bowl beside you and me on your knee. But it'll only take one pair of shining eyes and one mane of raven hair from among the armies of gentlefolk you'll be making common cause with now to make you forget about your poor little Judy out of hand.
Well, Judy McQuirk, as God is my witness.
God? Sure, what kind of witness is he? Sure, he's never on hand to testify for one blessed thing. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Well, Teddy then. Teddy?
If it please your honour, is there something you might require at this very moment?
A witness, Teddy. An honest witness to my promise not to forget Judy here, no more than I could forget the sun up in the sky.
I'll bear witness to his honour's good intentions in any court in the land, Sir Condy.
Maybe even the divorce course, Teddy. Men are all the same. Fine words and base actions. You'll fly from me like a swallow once a chance arises.
Oh, boo, Judy. Now, them are harsh words to be saying to my master, and yours, and he only trying to have a civil conversation with his own people.
His own people. From now on, they'll live, to be sure, in all the big houses round about, and not below the stairs neither. Served, not serving his own people will be. Not like you and me, Teddy.
Well, that's the very place you've gone astray now, Judy. That's the heart of the whole affair. Here, hand me over them spoons there and the knives that you're carrying that great bundle, Teddy.
Well, that's the good silver, your honour. It's in sore need of a polishing, for it is tarnished with time.
That is surely so. Polish away and be damned, and good luck to you. But here is my very point staring her straight in the face.
You're a what?
Do you know how many spoons a man needs to be able to eat his dinner in a big house?
Sure, how would I know what's that?
Or knives, or forks, or colanders, salt servers, warming platters, serving irons, and God knows what else. I'm telling you now, fair and square, 'tis like doing a military manoeuvre every time you sit down to eat. And you know full well that one slip in the procedure could finish a man for good. Use the wrong fish knife, and you're cut by the county.
'Tis the truth, Judy. Sure, I'm after going through the whole regiment of cutlery with Sir Condy here. Not once, not twice.
3 times.
At least. Oh, the life of a gentleman might seem easy and free to you, Judy, but they have their hidden laws to obey, just like the rest of us.
That's it, exactly. You talk about these gentlefolk being my own people, Judy. But you're just down here, in the warmth of this kitchen, with friends from birth, like yourself, that Sir Connolly Rackrent feels rightly at home.
Sir Condy, he was as cheerful and hospitable as Sir Patrick himself. He had none of the avarice of Sir Murtagh, or the reckless taste for pleasure that was Sir Kit's undoing in the end of all. True, he was fonder of the bed and the bottle than most people. But who can blame a man for enjoying his natural good fortune? I suppose it would have been more prudent for Sir Condy to look to his affairs straight away. But where's the harm in the man enjoying the pleasures that were never made available to him, and he a mere youth running wild in the village? Fortunately, there were sober heads on hand as well to stop any rot that would be fatal to his finances.
Sir Condy!
Jesus!
You have a great nominal rent roll, but 'tis nearly all paid away in interest.
Oh, Jesus.
I have a list of bills here as long as your arm.
Yeah, Jason, my man, there's a poor lookout.
I have kept the oldest creditors at bay with empty promises. We'll have court writs from them next week if no money changes hands. The wine merchant threatens us with a gang of thugs.
A gang of thugs?
They are not civil guests, Sir Condy.
Brigands, do you mean? Ruffians? Blackguards? Making short work with the law?
You may call them what you like, but the result will be the same. Broken windows and broken heads.
Jesus. Is there nothing to be done?
Well, that depends on you, Sir Condy. You. And maybe me.
You, Jason, do you see some way of mending this? You know, I set great store by your judgment.
Well...
Ah, I knew it. You have a remedy to hand. You intend to face them all down.
But there's no way of hiding from these bills, Sir Condy.
Ah, but you have a knave or an ace up your sleeve. Admit it. I know you, Jason.
The excise man and the sheriff are no friends of yours, sir.
Leeches of my class.
They have a stack of writs got up. Whereas, and heretofore with some bog Latin for spice, that will cause you great vexation if something is not done to stop them dead in their tracks.
Dead in their tracks?
But I can't pay them fresh air, sir. For that's all you've presently got. To defray these wise expenses.
Oh, Jesus.
I can think of only one thing that will save the situation, and your honour, from the ignominy of litigation.
What might that be?
The Lee Field and the Lower Meadow are up for lease, Sir Condy.
The Lee Field and the Lower Meadow.
I could advance you the cash for those.
You could?
This very day, sir. I could get a writ drawn up in no time at all.
Which isn't that grand.
Then you won't have to go trawl in the country for tenants, sir.
Well, that's certainly grand.
Perhaps you might allow a small reduction, for prompt payment.
Yeah, that's grand too.
Now, the title is a little complicated. If I might explain.
Explain. Look, you can explain all you like to my brown mare, but don't go explaining to me, man. I don't want my brain addled. Here, fix it as you will.
Jason set the land straight away to under tenants, who were grateful of his generosity, and he took £200 out of it in fine style, thus easing Sir Condy's situation and greatly advancing his own. That was always Jason's way.
Sir Condy, I wonder if you might care to consider another handy proposition. I know will benefit all.
Handy. A handy proposition. Speak your mind, man.
The hunting lodge by the lake, sir.
Ah, the hunting lodge.
It lies vacant these 2 years, Sir Condy. I thought perhaps, if I were to advance you the first mighty's rent, that perhaps I might...
Sir Connolly, a gentleman born, sir. 'Tis the finest of sport to ride out each morning all about this beautiful place. Have you ever seen such countryside staring you in the face? I doubt it. I must do something about it. Good hunting, day and night, downright delights attend upon us here. I'd like to rent your hunting lodge next year.
I think perhaps...
Consider it all, my friend.
Sir Condy.
Let God forfend that I should ever stand between a man and his pleasure. Let us ride out now. Later on, we'll play at our leisure.
Ha! The Rackrents are ever friends of the money calls. You must pay us a social call.
Oh.
Indeed. Come on up and feed.
Connolly Rackrent, Collins. A simple young fella. There you are. My sister, Isabella.
And that was the end of Jason's bid for the hunting lodge. And of course, Condy was invited up to Mount Juliet's town, week in, week out, all that winter. Which grieved me, for I knew how they spoke them there, making him a laughing stock, as it were, and a butt for the whole company. But they were soon cured of their evil mirth. For as it happens, old Mr. Moneygall's youngest daughter, Isabella, had fallen head over ears in love with Sir Condy from the moment her brother brought her into the house.
Don't you just adore Shakespeare?
Shakespeare? Is he a local man? Is he a sportsman, Bella?
Oh, Connolly, wherefore art thou, Connolly?
I'll be back on Friday for the hunt, my dearest.
Oh, Connolly, tell me not that thou art banished.
Certainly not. I'd stay for a wet week and welcome, only, there's a little beagle bitch in the village that's about to drop her pups, and here's 10 guineas, says that I'll get me hands on them before there ever comes another buyer.
A beagle bitch in the village?
Oh, yeah. Oh, a rare beauty. Like yourself, Isabella. Only a dog, if you see what I mean.
It was said that her father was like a man out of his right mind, and he swore that he never would have thought of such a thing when he invited me master into the house, that his daughter would even think of making such a match. Now, Sir Condy too, all this time, and a great while afterwards, was at a great nonplus, for he had no great liking for stage plays, or as it turned out, for Miss Isabella either. To his mind, over a bowl of whisky punch at home, our little Judy McCrook was worth 20 on Miss Isabella.
It's a poor lookout, Eddie, it's a poor lookout.
Am I to take it so that it's all over with our poor Judy?
Not at all, man. I was never fonder of Judy than I am at the present speaking. And to prove it to you,
says he, taking from me hand me halfpenny change.
And to prove it to you, it's a toss-up with me this minute who I should marry. Judy, or Mr. Moneygall about Julius Town's daughter, so 'tis.
Oh, pooh. Your honour's joking, surely. Sure, there's no compare between poor Judy and Miss Isabella, who they say has a great fortune.
Well, I'm not a man to mind a fortune now and never was. Whatever her friends may say. But to make short of it, I'm come to a determination on the spot.
And with that he swore such an oath as made me cross myself.
And by this book,
says he, taking up my ballad book.
And by this book,
mistaking it for my prayer book, which was over on the window.
And by all the books that were ever shut or opened, it's come to a toss-up with me. And I'll stand or fall by this toss-up. Now, hand me over that quill. Judy McQuirk, her mark.
And up it went, spinning like the great world itself. Judy's out of luck.
I'm out of luck.
And that was that. Settled fair and square. But before Miss Isabella, or her father, or anyone who knew him or her could draw breath, he had stolen her off incognito to Scotland, where he married her for love and money.
Sir Connolly and Lady Isabella Rackrent.
Oh, it was a great scandal, and the whole country talked of little else. But they were man and wife when they stepped down from the carriage the following week at Castle Rackrent. And to see the expression on me master's face as he helped his new bride through the mud to gladden the hardest of hearts, to be sure.
Am I to walk through all of this crowd of people, my dearest love?
Well, there's nothing for it but to walk, my dear. Or to let me carry you as far as the house. But you see, the back road is too narrow for a carriage, and the great piers have fallen down across the front approach.
They tell thou reasonest well. Angels and ministers of grace defend us.
And she sailed into Castle Rackrent on me master's arm, like a cockatoo or some such strange bird, thought I. And says I to myself, Well, if she's not Jewish like the last one, she's certainly a mad woman, which is worse. You know, it would have been better for me master to have taken up with Judy McCurk, who was in her right mind anyhow.
Oh, brave new world that hath such creatures in it.
She was dressed like a mad woman, moreover, and I couldn't take my eyes off her. But I soon discovered that was as she desired, for she lived and breathed to take part in stage plays.
I am sorry thou wilt leave my father so. Our house is hell, and thou a merry devil.
Ho, ho, ho.
You sound like Father Christmas.
I'm a merry devil, am I not?
Can you be merrier in some other manner, perhaps?
Ha, ha, ha.
Better. Ha 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 is a great deal merrier, my love.
Ha, ha, ha. I do not feel very merry, my love.
That is of no importance. You are a minor character, a buffoon. It scarcely matters how you feel.
That seems a bit...
Ha ha ha, it is.
Ha, ha, ha.
I am sorry thou wilt leave my father so. Our house is hell, and thou a merry devil.
Ha, ha, ha.
Didst rob of it some taste of tediousness? But fare thee well, there is a ducat for thee, and Lancelot. Soon at supper thou shalt see Lorenzo, who is thy master's new guest.
Adieu, tears exhibit my tongue.
Fare thee well, good Lancelot.
Ha, ha, ha.
Alack, what heinous sin is it in me to be ashamed to be my father's child?
Ha, ha, ha.
Sir Condy, as I said before, was unable to speak in public, so he never really made a great fist of the play acting. And as for my lady, well, she was certainly a tyrant when it came to bloody tragedy.
Is this a dagger I see before me?
Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent beneath. He whose coming must be provided for.
Jesus. Say no more, Isabella, say no more.
She was, to do her justice, when we came to know her better, very liberal in her housekeeping, and she left everything to the housekeeper. Now, it was said that her father would not give her a farthing, so it was lucky for her she had a few £1,000 of her own, left to her by a good grandmother. Oh, and this came in very handy to start with.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Arisher, why not?
My master and my lady set out in their married life in great style. They had the finest coach and chariot, and they cut the greatest dash in the county, returning their wedding visits. But never was there a honeymoon that didn't end in tears, and theirs was no exception. Borrowed money and borrowed time must soon run out. It wasn't long before we heard voices raised in earnest.
Sir Condy, surely you must know by now that I cannot abide the smell of whiskey punch.
When you liked it well enough before we were married, why not now?
My dear, I never smelt it, or I assure you I should never have prevailed upon myself to marry you.
Why, Bella!
For I should have fled your vile embrace had I known then what I know now.
These are harsh sentiments which cannot come from your true feelings. Such scorn, and all because I enjoy to do what any gentleman in the country might of an evening.
I am not married to every gentleman in the country, Sir Condy.
Nor should I like it if you were, Bella. It would cause a great deal of confusion.
You mock my tender feelings! Honestly, Sir Condy!
Sir Condy saw which way the wind was now blowing. And to avoid further storms, he ordered the punch bowl from the room, and he took to his knees like a black-hearted saint.
Forgive me, my dear, if I did in any way offend the one that I should cherish above all others. Bella, I beseech you, for thou dost teach the candles to burn bright.
The candles to burn bright. Condy, you may forswear yourself no longer, for I am sure you do not love me, no, never have.
My darling, whoever told you these lies is an incendiary, and I'll have been turned out of the house if you'd only tell me which of them it was.
Lies? Lies? What lies?
Nothing at all, except what you said just now, that I did not love you. Who told you that, Bella?
My own sense.
Why, this is very strange of you, Bella.
Oh, say no more. Sir Condy, every word you say kills me.
Faith, try and recollect yourself, Bella. Am I not your husband of your own choosing? And is that not enough?
Oh, too much. Too much!
Oh, come to your right senses, my dear. See, is not the punch bowl gone out of the room long ago? What in the wide world have you got to complain of?
Nothing at all, as it turned out. For it was somehow reported that her father had paid off all Sir Condy's debts. So, of course, all his tradesmen gave Sir Condy a new line in credit, and everything went on smack smooth. And I could not but help admire my lady's spirit, and I was proud to see Castle Rackrent back to its former glory. And everything would have gone along for the best, if it wasn't for the running sore of the punch bowl. Ah, yes, that was the black cloud in an otherwise clear sky.
You, sir. You. Are you fit company for me and you drinking all night?
That was her refrain, night after night for weeks and months, until at last she broke the camel's back.
Well, Isabella, as to drinking all night, I am now as sober as you are yourself. And as for being fit company for you, I consider myself of a family to be fit company for any lord or lady in the land. I've never prevented you from seeing or keeping what company you pleased. I've tried to make Castle Rackrent pleasing to you since our marriage. The house is always full of visitors. And if your own relations are not amongst them, that is their own fault, and their pride's fault, of which I am sorry to find you have so unbecoming a share.
That was the last word spoken. And of course my lady was in her tantrums for 3 days after. But it's little trouble she would have had over whiskey punch if she had just taken a moment to consider the graver problems that were afflicting the estate she had married into.
Such frivolous concerns must certainly bode ill. For with every post, like dead leaves, come the bills. Wine, women, and song have their price. And while reckless entertainment and pleasure are nice, and none begrudge good humour a place, laughter and friendly acquaintance will scarce suffice to paint a smile on a creditor's face.
Letters from trade folk came every post, thick and threefold, with bills as long as your arm of years and years standing.
I'll see to that. Give it here.
My son Jason had them all handed over to him, and all the pressing letters went unread by Sir Condy, who hated trouble, and could not be brought to talk of business, but still put it off and put it off.
Sir Condy!
Oh, settle it anyhow.
Sir Condy!
Bid him call again tomorrow.
Sir Condy!
Speak to me about it some other time.
Now, it was hard to find the time to speak to him, for in the mornings he was in bed, and in the evenings he was over his bottle, where no gentleman likes to be disturbed. So that in no time at all, the whole estate came to a sorry pass. My lady, there are no candles in the house.
Bless me, then take a horse and gallop off as fast as you can to Carrigo Fungus and get some.
But my lady, there's no horse to go, but one that wants a shoe.
Well, go to Sir Condy then. I know nothing at all about horses. Why do you plague me with such things?
I'll go down to my son Jason's house and borrow some candles for the night.
You'll not forget my generosity on this occasion, or any other.
Another time in the depths of winter, and on a desperately cold day, there was no turf for the fires, or even for the cook in the kitchen.
Well, if there's no turf to be had in the town or country, what signifies talking about it? Can't you go out and cut down a tree?
If it please your honour, which tree?
Any tree at all that's good to burn. Send off Smarto and get one down. And the fire's lighted. Before my lady gets up for breakfast, the house will be too hot to hold us.
Sir Condy!
Not now! My son Jason put in another word about the hunting lodge, and made a genteel offer of the purchase money to ease Sir Condy's distresses.
This writ comes from the Sheriff, Sir Condy.
There is a slate in my window, my dear, in lieu of the pane you so clumsily knocked against in your cups.
Can you not see that I'm occupied?
It is ill luck, Sir Condy, that the Sheriff is no friend of yours.
It cannot stand, sir, I tell you, it cannot stand.
Lady, hand me over a beaker there till I steady myself, man, will you?
He talks of how he must do his duty, and how he will do it.
Well, may he rot in hell for his diligence.
I'm not a mare, Sir Condy, I will not live in a stable.
Sir Condy accepted the purchase money for the lodge from my son Jason, and it was a good piece of business for both parties. For my son bought the fee simple of a good house for little or nothing, and in taking the purchase money, Sir Condy saved himself from jail.
These diamonds, Horse-case, the finest jewels in the chamber, my dear.
Oh, Sir Condy.
Every way it turned out fortunate for Sir Condy, for before all the money was gone, there came a general election. Now, he being so popular in the county and from one of the oldest families, nobody had a better right to stand candidate for the vacancy. There were fine dinners, and all the men toasting to Sir Condy's success, until they were carried out, and all the ladies finishing with a raking pot of tea in the morning.
Huzzah, huzzah, Sir Condy!
And there were balls and dances, and everyone was happy. But, for my mind, I could not help but pity my poor master, who was to pay for it all.
Oh ho! Have you a vote? A fine freeholder you are with a hole in your coat. Strike him off! Strike him off! And what of you, sir, of Carrick or Shocklin? Were you ever there? Yes? No? You're talking false. You'll have to go.
Condy, they are striking off all of our freeholders who have not stood upon the ground that they own.
Their own crew treat their freeholds as if they were foreign territory, until today, when suddenly it's home from home.
The other side are perjurers, one and all. They swear that they reside on their properties, while our friends are dumbfounded by the lawyers asking them, have you ever been on the ground where your freehold lies?
They're cute. But there must be some way to bag the seat, huh?
Let each man stand on one of these before voting. Then none need lie, for they are sods from the home farm, and all will have stood on Rackrent land.
And we gained the day by this piece of honesty.
Jesus, Jason, your brains to burn by. Hop on! Hop on!
Sir
That's Sir Connolly Rackrent in the chair.
It is. Who else would it be? God bless him.
And I take it then that you belong to him.
Not at all, not at all. But I serve under him, and have done so for these past 200 years and upwards. Me and mine.
Well, it is lucky for you that he is where he is, for if he was not in the chair this very minute, he'd be in a worse place. For I have been sent down on purpose with orders to put him up, and have orders to do so in my pocket.
Well, then you may put them back in your pocket, my dear friend, and not let them trouble you for 7 years to come. For he is a member of Parliament now, and cannot be touched by the likes of you. And if you take a fool's advice, you'll stay well away from him today, for you may get your just deserts from amongst his friends. Unless, of course, you want to drink his health, like everybody else.
Oh, I have no objection to that in life, my brave companion. Tell me this now. How is it your master stays so well upon his legs? I hear tell he was off them this 12-month past.
My master was never heartier or better in his life.
'Tis one of life's great mysteries, to be sure. How a man, head and shoulders in debt, may live the faster for it, and better if he goes the right way about it. Or else how is it that so many live on so well, as we see every day, after they are ruined?
How is it? How is it? But just as you see the ducks in the chicken yard, just after their heads have been cut off by the cook, running around faster and faster than ever when they were alive. Oh, the day of the election. I cannot think of it but with pleasure and gratitude for those happy times. What came after was doleful, to be sure. For when the election was clean over, Sir Condy was crippled with bills and demands for everything from straw to silver buckles. And all he could do to content his creditors was to get himself out of the way as fast as possible to Dublin, where my lady had taken a house fitting for him as a member of Parliament.
The honourable member, the honourable member, the right honourable member of Parliament, Sir Connolly Rackrent Bar.
Look, call me Condy, ye bugger. Sure, 'tis more natural like.
In Parliament he never spoke a word good or bad.
I'm frank and well-mannered. I'm easy and free.
His butler wrote down to my son Jason to say that he had been very ill used by the government over a place that was promised him and never given, after he had supported them on a matter against his conscience, and took great abuse for it. This hurt him greatly, he being a man of high standing in the government beforehand.
Sir Condy must soon be looking out for a new agent, for I've done my part and could do no more. If my lady had the Bank of Ireland to spend, it would go all in one winter. And Sir Condy would never gainsay her, though he does not care the rind of a lemon for her all the while.
The honourable member, the honourable member.
My son Jason had now grown quite the gentleman, and wouldn't allow any of his relations near him. But I could not believe me eyes when I found that he had joined forces with that viperous stranger, that vile limb of the law that I had met on the day of the election, to seize all the lands of Castle Rackrent for debt if Sir Condy could not pay.
The Right Honourable Sir Condy.
Oh, I could not but grieve for my master's fine estate, all torn by these vultures of the law.
The Right Honourable Member of the Irish Parliament.
And it was death, too, that broke my master's marriage. One day, there came a letter from Mount Juliet's town.
Jesus, Isabella, can you not tell me what's in the letter? What news about Julius Town?
No news. But the old story over again. My friends all reproaching me still for what I can't help now.
Is it for marrying me?
Had I known you were ruined before I married you, I should never have had a serious thought of running away as I did.
But my dear, there's no use crying and upsetting yourself about it now, when it's all over, and you have the man of your choice, in spite of them all.
I was too young, I know, to make a choice at the time you ran away with me.
My dear, you cannot deny what you know as well as I do, that it was at your own particular desire.
Say no more, Sir Condy. I was a child then, you know.
And as far as I can see, you are little better now, Bella, to be talking in this manner to your husband's face. But I won't take it ill of you, for I know it's something in that letter now that you just put in your pocket that has set you against me all of a sudden and imposed upon your understanding.
It is not so very easy as you think, Sir Condy, to impose upon my understanding. Take it. And as you are quite cool, I hope this is a proper time for me to request that you'll allow me to comply with the wishes of my friends and return to my father and family at Mount Juliet's Town.
Oh, Jesus, Isabella. You can't be serious. Could you find it in your heart to leave me in this way? In the very middle of my distresses?
Must I share your ruin, Sir Condy?
Dear, I believe you are right. Let us part, friends. You have my full consent to go, since that is your desire.
And he came then into the passageway, where I was by chance fixing the sleigh, so it was my custom, in place of a broken pane that had been leaking water all winter long. This window is all racked and tattered, Sir Condy. It's what I'm trying to mend it.
It's racked and tattered plain enough. Never mind mending it. Honest old Teddy, huh? He'll do well enough now for you and I. That's all the company we'll have in this house by and by.
Sir Condy!
My master was in great trouble after my lady left us. And everything at Castle Rackrent went from bad to worse, till soon all was seized by the gripers. And my son Jason, to his eternal shame be it spoken, chief amongst them.
Merciful Jesus, huh? Can we not just settle it all now with a stroke of my grey goose quill? You know, I'll drown in this ocean of papers here. No, just give me a clear view of the balance. That's all I need to be talking about, you know.
Very true, Sir Condy. Nobody understands business better than yourself.
And so I've a right to. And I bred and born to the bar. Teddy, will you step out and see her they're bringing the things for the punch? We've done all we have to do here now for this evening.
I goes out accordingly. And when I come back, Jason was pointing to the balance, which was a terrible sight for my master.
Jesus. There's so many gnaws here that'll dazzle me eyes, so they do. And put me in mind of all I suffered, learning me tables, when I was a boy at the day school along with you, Jason. Units, tens, hundreds, tens of hundreds. Jeez. And they're bringing the punch, Teddy.
The girl has it in her hand, Your Honour. It's coming up the stairs now, as fast as possible.
Don't be talking of punch yet a while. There's no time for punch yet a bit. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands.
How'd you have wished? Where in the wide world am I going to get hundreds, or units itself, let alone thousands?
The balance has been running on too long. And I'm distressed myself on your account, Sir Condy, for money. The thing must be settled now on the spot, and the balance cleared off.
Well, I thank you, if you'll only show me how.
Well, there's but one way, and that's ready enough. When there's no cash, what can a gentleman do but go to the land?
And sure, how can I go to the land, and it's all underwritten to yourself already?
Sure can't you sell? Though at a loss. You can sell, and I've a purchaser ready for you.
Have you so? Well, that's a great point gained.
Here's a deed ready drawn up. We've nothing to do but put our names to it.
And what am I going to sell? the lands of O'Shaughlinstown, and the lands of Grunalulahan, and the lands of Crooknamerta, and... Oh, murder, Jason. Shit, you're not going to put this in. The castle, stable, and appurtenances of Castle Rackrent.
Oh, murder. Oh, this is too bad, Jason.
Why so? When it's all, and a great deal more to the back of it, lawfully mine, was I to push for it.
But it is a Jew, Jason, that can stand in his presence and recollect all he has been to us and all we have been to him. And yet you use him so in the last.
Here's the punch, Here's the punch.
Thanks be to God. Let's drink together now and settle all at last in good faith.
No, Sir Condy. It shan't be said of me that I got your signature to that deed when you were half seas over. Wherefore let us settle all before I go deeper into the punch bowl.
Ah, look here. Settle all as you will. I don't want to hear any more about it. I'm bothered to death
You've
this
only
night.
to sign.
Jesus. Now, take all and be content.
The news travels like the plague. When the report was known, within a minute, the people far and near gathered in great anger at my son Jason, and in terror at the thought of him becoming landlord over them.
No, Jason!
No,
Jason!
No! It's the sweepings of the streets out there. Any one of them might kill me. What should I do, Sir Condy?
I tell you what you do. Finish your drink and leave all to me. My good people, I want to thank you all for your concern, but it is groundless. Because I've just concluded a new arrangement with my friend Jason Quirk.
No!
Whereby I'm going to go to the lodge for a change of air for my health. And at my own desire now for the rest of my days. We were even now sealing this arrangement, as gentlemen will, over the punch bowl. The remainder of which, and much more besides, I'm going to send out to you now, my good people, so you can all drink my health with good grace.
That was the last time my master's health was drunk at Castle Rackrent.
Sir Condy has been a fool all these days.
The very next day, being too proud, as he said to me, to stay an hour longer in a house that didn't belong to him, he took himself off to the hunting lodge. And I came after him just a few hours later. When I got to the lodge, he was very low. He had taken to his bed. He was complaining of a great pain about his heart.
Ah, Teddy, I'd have been better off to have lived the life that was shown me from the start. Not be trying to be aping me betters.
Your betters? Why didn't you, Sir Connolly Rackrent?
Ah, in name, that's true.
In name only?
Ah, look, sure, I know the name is mine and earned by birth, but whenever I hear it, I do wonder who's been addressed.
His talk was fanciful, to be sure. But I guessed it was all the trouble and the business, not to mention the vexation he had gone through of late.
My only fond memories now are of my father's house and playing in the street in them sunlit days before cash and its consequences ever entered my head.
Knowing the nature of him as a boy, I took me pipe, and while smoking it by the chimney, I told him how beloved and regretted he was in the county, and it did him a deal of good to hear it.
There are decent fellas everywhere, Daddy. Fellas who don't dream of kine alone. Them's the boys to turn to. Ah, sure. Look, there's a welcome for me in half the houses in this barony. And a bed.
He fancied himself better loved than the facts allow, I think. And he took to the punch bowl for the rest of the day, and a great many days after that.
I'm elected, can't be ejected.
But the punch bowl is small consolation. And in the days that followed, his talk grew even more fanciful.
I've a notion I'm not long for this world, Hayley. But, you know, I've a great fancy to see me own funeral afore I die. I want you to give out that I'm dead. Do you understand me?
That was his firm and constant wish. So, we had a sham wake at the lodge the night after. And sure enough, there was a great press of people came to pay their respects to the corpse. And it wasn't long before the corpse was invisible under a pile of greatcoats thrown on the bench.
Heather.
Freedom, freedom. Tickum, tickum. Ari a time la is Jack so kana.
My hand far, my hand far.
Oh, here's to Sir Conde, Sir Connolly Conde. He was born of a Tuesday and died on a Monday. Was there ever a man so easy and free? Says I to myself, and myself says to me, ah la 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 la, ah la 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 la, la la la.
And says I to myself, you can take it from me. There was a man quite as jovial as me, so frank and well-mannered, a gentleman born, at all times of day, from the evening till morn.
You won't find such treasure on anyone's shelf. No chest can conceal such a jewel or a gem. Sir Connie was surely the finest of men.
And though
passed off merrily enough. But to my mind, Sir Condy was in the sad order in the midst of it all, not finding there had been such great talk about him after his death as he had expected. Then the following morning, one opens the door and walks in. And who should it be but Judy McQuirk herself? Tis Judy McQuirk, Your Honour. Do you remember her?
Sure, it's time for me. And I think, Your Honour, since I've seen you last, but that's a great while ago, is altered too.
And with reason, Judy, with reason. How's this now? I take it a little amiss of you that you weren't at my wake last night.
Ah, don't be jealous of that. I didn't hear a sentence of Your Honour's wake until it was all over. Or I would have been after. But God willing, it won't be so, I hope, the next time.
Aye. Maybe sooner than you think, Judy. I've been very unwell this while past. I don't reckon I'm long for this world.
I wondered at her appearing like this. And I thought to myself, well, maybe she has fond feelings still of a kind for my master.
Sure, what signifies it to be my Lady Rackrent in no castle? Sure, what good is a car and no horse to draw it?
And where will you get the horse, Judy?
Never mind that. Maybe it is your own son Jason might find that.
Jason? Don't be putting your trust in him. For as I have good reason to know, Sir Condy spoke very well of you when Jason spoke very distastefully of you, Judy.
No matter, for it's often men speak contrary to their hearts.
And you the same way of them, no doubt. Nay, don't be denying it, Judy. Your talk is ungrateful and distrusting to my master. And you, to say to his face, of the next time he'd be waked.
As for that, Teddy, I'll be the first in at the door.
The next time. The next time. Ah, it wasn't long in coming. He came to it through drinking with the excise man and the gauger.
Aye, the whore, the great whore. Huh? Now, my ancestor, Sir Patrick Rackrent, drank the full of that whore many's a night. No man has done it since.
Here's 100 golden guineas, says you can't.
Done! Hand me up the horn, Teddy.
God save your honour. So ended the great saga of the Rackrent dynasty. Renowned for their nature and spirit, which filled everyone with a gloom and a dread of what was to come, maybe. And all I can say to you is, don't ever, ever go near a fairy town. Now, if you want to know any more, I'm scarcely able to tell you. Jason and the creditors, they picked over the carcass like a pack of vultures. Oh, they were all eager men, to be sure. As for my part, well, I've done with wishing for anything from this life after all I've seen in it. But I'll say nothing. For what would be the good of getting myself ill will in my old age? Jason did not marry, or even think of marrying Judy, as I promised. And for that, I am not sorry. Who is? And as for all I've told you about the family, from memory and hearsay, every word of it is the truth. And that you may depend. For where's the use in telling lies about the things that everybody knows as well as I do?